Mother, man.
I'm Megan Huntsman. I specialize in fourth-term abortions, and I like to listen to Murder Metal Mayhem.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder Metal Mayhem! All right. What the hell? Megan,
what the fuck, motherfuckers?
Doing some promo for us from the joint, I'm guessing, Chris. You know?
It's got to be from there. If she listens, it's from the joint.
That's right. We are doing that thing we do on Tuesday here at Horns High Studio. We're doing a new Murder Metal Mayhem for the Horns High Podcast Network, episode 177.
Damn.
Going down tonight. Yeah, they're just ticking by, man. We're getting closer, Chris, to the big 200. It's kind of crazy. Got Chris, Joey here, and Stephanie, the queen of the 419, here with us.
Yeah.
So what's up, everybody? Everybody doing all right?
Doing good. You guys?
Oh, yeah. Good. Very good.
Trying to clean out my header over here. And
yeah, I was wondering what you're doing. Got the needle nose Bittaker fucking
That's
pliers.
what I'm saying. That's what's awesome is people bought these pliers for us for fucking the Bittaker, the toolbox.
Yeah, toolbox episode.
Now they've come in handy like on multiple occasions. So every now and then I'm like, man, I need some pliers. I look over, I'm like, fuck yeah, we
got 3 pair in
there. I got a fucking pair sitting right here. Yeah, they're awesome. That's for sure. And that is still one of our biggest hit episodes of recent. That toolbox killer one we did. Some sick ass fucking listeners out there. If that's one of their faves, but you know, Joey, I looked today and the Columbine episode is creeping up. Now it's number 3.
That's the one that you would figure would be a big one, and it's proven to be. So that's cool.
Yeah, it is. And oddly enough, our very first episode on David Hendricks is like 7,000 something total listens, and the next one's 4,000.
Right.
So there's that big of a difference between. So yeah, and it makes sense. We've talked about it before. People like it, and then they go back and listen to that very first one. But very cool, Chris. What about your T-shirt attire? What you got going on over there?
I got on my Murder Machine clothing hoodie with the skull on the back, and I got the Murder Machine clothing goddamn goat pentagram
sponsored by, You're like one of those product placement ads in like a movie or something.
Here I am.
Got the Murder Machine stuff on.
Now we're gonna go out to Gore Camp this week and fucking they're gonna have
all kinds of new shit.
Yeah.
Stephanie, what about you over there? You got anything cool to report? You know, anything?
I have my horror movie.
Hell yeah.
People in the shape of the state of Ohio.
Oh,
Jason,
nice.
Chucky, Pinhead, Michael Myers.
Right.
Fuck yeah,
Chucky,
dude.
Hell yeah.
I think it's dope.
Nice. Very cool. And then Joey, I see you got something on over there.
Yeah, I got the fucking Lividity shirt because I'm doing them in metal tonight, of course. Yeah. And this is from the 2015 European tour.
That's a wicked shirt.
Yeah,
man.
I fucking dig this one.
It reminds me of my Skeleton Pit shirt with the same color, that real bright yellow.
Sticks
awesome.
out.
Wow.
And your shirt's badass.
And I've got my Faces of Death shirt on. I was doing a promo video in here early for the Deeper Than Dead book, and I was going through shirts. I'm like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool for that. So I wore that.
Yeah.
So old school for sure. Some Francis B. Gross. Dr. Francis B. Gross. That's some good stuff. All right, last week, guys, we did a hell of an episode on that Canadian madman there, Alan Legier. We had our buddy Shane on.
Sneaky.
That was fun.
Thank you, Shane. I love having Shane on.
Yeah, Shane was awesome. The listeners seemed to like him too. And that was a gruesome episode, how Legier raped and murdered, escaped from prison, kind of like a Clifford Olson type of deal.
Yeah. Real.
Really crazy, pissing in his own ear, Chris. That's really nasty. Did Michael try that?
No, I don't think
I was wondering if he did. I have not heard from him about that peeing in his ear.
Nope, he did not.
All right.
He probably didn't hear either.
Yeah.
That's why, because somebody peed in his ear.
Yeah.
To continue terrorizing the small town he felt wronged him. So really a wild story. And Chris, you did the metal feature.
Yes,
that was
I
cool.
did. Imperial Triumphant.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, something I knew
them.
nothing about. So
Right.
that's always cool to learn something new. We had a really good killer cage match. I thought that one was really funny. So that's worth going back and listening to. Is it Dahmer and Pomeroy?
Yeah.
That
And
was
the Lion
brutal.
King.
Poor
Or
Jesse.
the Tiger King. Shit.
Tiger King in the cage.
That's what it was. Yeah. I was trying to think. I couldn't remember if that
It was a
the-
good one. It really was. So if you missed episode 176, go on and give it a listen. We were just passing 900 to that, so it's doing pretty good.
Fuck yeah.
So thank you, everybody that has already listened. And if you missed it, go check it out. Now, tonight, guys, we are opening up both barrels with our crazy-ass women of May.
It's May. Mother's Day is coming up. Like
Mother's
this weekend,
Day.
dude. Like,
We always did like one on the Mother's Day week, but then it expanded last year
let's
to
just make the
Murdering
whole
Moms
fucking
of
month.
May.
yeah.
This time, I think they all were moms, but it's a little different because,
Right.
like in the Gertrude Banishevsky one,
She didn't kill her.
she didn't kill her own kid; she killed somebody else's. But fucked up.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a
still
fucked up
worth
story.
it.
All of them this month are going to be sick, and we're starting it out with Megan Huntsman, who took six of her infant children, only minutes old, murdered them and stuck them in cardboard boxes
Fucking crazy, dude.
in her Utah garage. Chris, for 10 fucking years,
I
1996
thought it was 18
to
years.
2006. Well, they think that one of them was born, maybe the stillborn one, early on.
Okay.
But the bulk of
Either
it
way.
would have been over that 10-year, because she did mention 18 years, and I don't remember the significance.
But we're
of
going to
that.
get into all
Oh,
this.
yeah, definitely.
Now, a seventh one was stillborn, mentioned that. Fucked up as hell. Definitely a good one to do with the female killers that we're going to be doing throughout May. And like we said, we did this last May, kind of like this too. And I'm sure tonight is going to be much of the same. We're at the end of this month.
Mothers.
I'm going to want to do a segment on like Howdy Doody or something, just to fucking
Just to lighten shit up.
palate cleanse, Now, Joey, you got the horns tonight. You mentioned who you're doing. That's
Yeah.
going to be wicked.
I'm
man.
doing fucking Lividity, which is, if you don't know, is a fucking brutal death metal band from right here where we're from.
Right.
But they are fucking world known for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
And they've been around for quite a while. And along with that, the vocalist and guitarist, Vaughn Young,
Yeah.
I did an interview with him too.
That was really good. You did a great job
Yeah, I
with that.
appreciate
It's like
that.
50-something minutes long.
Yeah, it was a long one, but man,
It
we
was
talked about
fantastic.
some really cool shit.
Yeah.
So, especially anybody that like really, is into the fucking Midwest scene or whatever, man, check that out because there's a
Yeah.
lot of like learning about how it came about and shit.
Yeah, and they're only going to get like a 9.5-minute piece of that
Hell
tonight,
yeah.
but we're going to give them the whole thing the day after this one goes
Yeah, so
live.
Friday.
Bonus episode, the full Vaughn Young interview that Joey did, really good. So that's going to be awesome, and I think we're going to have a lot of our Central Illinois listeners and
Yeah.
Midwest listeners especially are going to love this. But like you said, these guys are world known,
Yeah.
so we got listeners from all over the place. Now, Chris, you're doing a Lost Classic for us tonight,
100% am.
so
I've
that's
had
cool.
this Lost Classic in my head for literally a week. Am I wrong?
No,
That's cool.
that is literally, after we left the fucking podcast.
Yep.
That's funny. Now, we got a little something extra for him tonight, too, Joey, don't we, in the metal segment?
Yeah, we're going to tell them, like, even the people sitting in here in the room with us don't know about this, but because me and Pete have been doing these fucking reviews, we're
Right.
privy to music before other people.
Right.
So we got something to show y'all tonight.
We do.
Oh,
and
shit.
I think it's going to, like, set the fucking world on fire, honestly.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
so.
I cannot wait.
So
Oh
metal
my
segment will be
God.
good tonight. Little tease there for you. We got a good killer cage match tonight, guys. That's where our listeners provide some random numbers on our Facebook page. and help us decide who's going to fight to death in the cage. And Chris, I want to say thank you to a few people.
Yes, we got Caden Stuthis, Rebecca Boomsock always
Of
in
course.
there. And now we got Ray Righteous Mullet McFalls.
Ray Righteous Mullet McFalls. This is the guy
y'all.
this is the fourth nickname he's had. So he's very cocky over there, wherever he's from. But thanks, Ray, Rebecca, and Caden. That's awesome. And we got a good matchup tonight in the cage, fighting to death. Joey, what do we got?
You want to fucking go over to Chicago and fucking go to this fucking haunted fucking creepy ass hotel of horrors.
Right.
That's H.H. Holmes.
Hell yeah.
And he's going to be going up against the fucking drifter killer with fucking 3 teeth, a glass eye, and a palm ball. And that's fucking
3 more
Henry
than I got.
That's 3 more teeth than Chris. Chris still doesn't have his teeth. If you guys didn't listen to last week's podcast.
Yeah, that was funny with the mayhem with Chris talking about his teeth.
So Chris still doesn't have his teeth. So whenever he says things like Stuthis and Boomsock, it's going to sound funny, but just it's fine.
So yeah, H.H. Holmes and Henry Lee Lucas. What a crazy matchup that's going to be.
Hell yeah.
They got 2 objects though and a variable that always makes things interesting. And of course, you got to wait for that one, Chris, in the mayhem segment.
Yeah.
So thanks to the listeners though, because that's what's fun. It makes give us a little audience participation. And we've had fun, Chris, doing that live a couple different times. So those are fun.
It's fucking fun as fuck.
We got a new sponsor this month, guys. Big thanks to Blasphemation.
Blasphemation.
Tampa, Florida death grind shit. Holy crap. Those guys are sick. And they're sponsoring the podcast this month. And they got this new single. We're going to play a clip of it called Deviated Septum. That's going to be on their full length that we talked about last week, Phantasmagore Beyond Strange. So it's going to be done in collaboration with Soul Grinder Magazine and Nihilist Media.
Hell yeah.
And he said it's going to be a digipack of only 100 copies, so that's going to be a pretty
not
limited
many at
deal.
all, dude.
So we played a little bit of it last week. We're going to play another track this week. So get your ass ready if you dig it, old school death metal sickness. Definitely link to them in the episode description.
And if you do like it, and like we said, there's only 100 copies of that digipack. If you collect fucking physical copies, hit them up to grab one of those, because the way they do it, they're down in Tampa, so they show up to 1-2 shows or fests that they got going on.
And they're gone.
And they're fucking gone. Yeah, so if you want one, I'd hit them up.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Joey. Thanks to everybody out there listening to Murder Metal Mayhem. We keep seeing the numbers rolling in this week, around 2,800 total listens. So
nice.
Thank you. Creeping back up.
Yeah.
And guys, as always, we got a lot of shit on our plate tonight. We're going to be taking a little trip west to Utah to see if we can avoid ending up in a cardboard box in some psycho bitch's garage. So, Chris.
Hell yeah, let's get our meth-induced emphyside on.
Damn.
Fuck yeah.
Blasphemation.
Killing it.
Deviated Septum was that song, and it's going to be on their upcoming full length called Phantasmagore Beyond Strange. I don't know why I struggle with that. Some serious nastiness coming from Tampa, Florida. So thanks to those guys for being interested in us.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Definitely want to turn people on to them, and so check that episode description to get in touch. We still got Stephanie in here. She hasn't run away, so she's
Not
kind of
yet.
sitting there. Although Chris, you're blocking, so I mean, you could keep her here.
I kind of am in the way.
But,
I'm in the
she's
path.
pretty nimble. I bet she could get the hell out of here.
Hell yeah.
But Stephanie, you doing okay over there?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. And
Fuck
every
yeah.
time you come, you bring food. Are you Italian? Is there any Italian?
I'm 5 different types of white, and one of them is Italian. so-
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Well, you said Italian.
I know.
I did.
I don't
just
even know where
lost a couple
Italy
points.
is.
You just lost a couple points, but you guys are bringing the food with you every time, so that's awesome. So, because our listeners, Chris, they've been neglectful, man. They haven't been sending the Pop-Tarts. So.
Yeah, motherfuckers are strapped for cash these
P.O.
days,
Box 554, Hayworth, Illinois 61745. Send us some fucking Pop-Tarts.
Send us a Pop-Tart and a fucking sticker for the table.
That's right. That's right. All right. So tonight, guys, we're doing the story of Megan Huntsman. And as we've been pointing out, not a lot of stuff out there of any like decent caliber. So we're going to fucking put this shit on the map tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I bet there's a story, that people haven't heard before. And if you ever wanted to point to an incident that would tell you drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad.
This is this story, okay? This chick is just fucking out there, man.
Yep.
She's a Utah woman who had some obvious issues with meth over a 10-year period, 96 to 2006. She took 6 of her own infant children, stuck their bodies in boxes in the garage. There was a 7th body that was a stillborn infant. The crazy thing is people didn't even realize she was pregnant. Neighbors and friends had absolutely no idea she's carrying these kids full term. She did say that one was stillborn, but I still,
Who knows?
I mean, I don't know, but I think they did, through autopsy, prove that the others died from asphyxiation.
I mean, she had 12 kids,
That
like,
right? And that was she had 5 that survived.
no,
No, there were only
that
3.
survived.
3, okay,
Three.
so
So 10, yeah.
10.
Still,
But-
though, she could have fielded a fucking baseball
Yeah.
team, man.
So no, what all I was getting at is yeah. So she has a bunch of dead kids. She has some living ones too. We're going to talk about
Right.
to
Yeah.
make it even weirder.
It
so,
is weird.
yeah.
It is weird. So it's definitely a wild one to start out our theme for May here. Chris, what is it about women who kill their kids that just really hits a nerve with a lot of people?
Probably because that's supposed to be your mother, the person that like you're supposed to like, that's supposed to protect you your whole life. That's your mom. You came from your mom. They should be there so when people hear about a mother killing their child, especially right after it was born,
Yeah.
like it makes me fucked up. Like I couldn't even imagine that shit. Like one of my kids' moms, if they had done that or something. Nah, it's fucked up, dude. I don't like it.
No, it's really fucked up. And I think you're right. People look at their mother as that, like you
Like
said,
held
the
up to
person
a-
that brought
on a
you literally
pedestal.
into the world,
Yeah.
So it's fucked up. And Joey, do you think the name Megan Huntsman is going to be familiar to a lot of true crime fans?
Megan Huntsman, more like Megan Kuntzman.
Right?
I don't know. Like you said, there's not really a whole lot out there on her. The thing about it that kind of surprises me is because I remember when it happened in the news,
Right.
when like it all broke out, it was fucking
Yeah.
kind of big for a second. But yeah, now you look and there's not a whole lot that's fucking been
It was,
portrayed on
like,
it. So maybe
huge.
some people won't know.
Yeah.
To me, she already had a strike against her, regardless of her kids or anything. Because the last name Huntsman, all I think about is, if you know me, I'm not a big spider fan whatsoever.
And the Huntsman
And in
spider.
Australia, the Huntsman spiders are them big
Oh,
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
shit.
And dude, so whenever I see her name, that's all I think about is creepy ass spiders.
Oh, wow.
This bitch is already fucking marked for fucking
I don't even want nothing to do with her,
negativity.
dude.
Yeah.
Now, Steph, it is amazing she was able to hide these pregnancies. And you, of course, work in the medical field, but how rare is that for a woman to be able to hide it, especially, like Joey said, 10 times?
Yeah, so I personally work with radiation. So
Right.
we have to make sure someone's not pregnant, like
That's true.
100%.
That's true.
So they do a lot of pregnancy tests at
My
hospitals.
wife
and
was
things.
talking about that they make you do a pregnancy
Yeah.
test before you have something like that done.
So I think it's real rare, but I mean, they did have that show on TV that was, I didn't know I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
giving
you've
birth,
heard
so.
stories like that of
Yeah.
some woman in the bathroom, like literally
Like, I just had a kid.
has a
and I don't know
baby,
where it
like,
came
and had
from.
no idea she was even pregnant,
That whole fucking pregnancy test thing, like I had to have her slow down and explain that to me because I didn't get what she was saying. I was like, you guys just give everybody pregnancy tests? She was like, yeah, between 10 and 55, everybody, because if you're
Yeah.
pregnant, you can't do a.
Right.
I was like, okay, that makes sense. I just never knew.
No, this has not been a thing for that long. I mean, I don't know when it started, but I'd never heard of it either
Yeah.
until Jenny brought it up. I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
Well, you don't have a uterus, so,
I mean, there's that.
There's that. There is that. Now, I stumbled on a documentary about her on YouTube after watching some other serial killer craziness. So I just stumbled upon this one. It definitely rang a bell with me too, Joey, with the news story.
Yeah.
But like you said, it didn't catch fire, which is kind of
Right.
crazy. You're talking about 7 infants in a garage.
Out in fucking Mormon-ass Utah, too.
Exactly. So, we do tend to dig the obscure killers out there. So this one, I think, definitely fits the bill. Kind of that perfect one for Mother's Day.
Yeah, this has our name written all over it.
Coming up this weekend. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a Mother's Day episode if there was one. Now, not a lot is known really about her upbringing. She's raised in a stable home with both parents and was brought up Mormon, which, of course, Utah, that's what you would kind of expect there. Her mother would say she was a quiet child, but struggled with some mental health problems, but never got any help for it, which is not uncommon,
Right? Never ever thought she hid shit like this ever.
No, but she was very secretive, she said, but certainly not.
It's crazy, too, because she was out on dope, on meth for over a decade.
Yeah.
And the
neighbors had no idea.
And all these people still say they could not believe that she would be the one to be on drugs or the baby thing.
She was able to hide that shit.
And her fucking husband went to jail for manufacturing.
Right.
And they're still no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I know. It is amazing. It really is. So, she gets pregnant in high school. I'm sure that did not go over real well at home, I'm assuming.
Not in the Mormon community. You
No.
know that.
So, Chris, she winds up getting married to the father, which is old Darren West,
Hell yeah.
the father of the kids, and things kind of start out all right, but then they get a little fucked up. She starts getting all beaten up and bruises, and
It's pretty fucked up. I mean, you're 18 and you got into this relationship, and now, like Cashman said, meth is involved.
Right.
Things are going to get violent.
and you're struggling financially, I'm sure,
right.
so that adds to the stress, But, she's showing up with black eyes, and people are a little worried about it. And that makes sense. I mean, she's married to this dude, he's all fucking methed out and gets violent when they fight, and definitely not good. They were living in a duplex in Pleasant Grove, Utah, which is about 35 miles south of Salt Lake City. So this is a town of about 40,000 people, so a little smaller than Bloomington. Her and Darren had 3 girls, as you guys pointed out, that were living in the home with them. Darren and Megan did a lot of meth and shit like that. He gets sent away to prison for possessing some chemicals, Chris, to make
Fucking
meth.
cooking, man. He ain't no fucking Walter White, though, dude.
I was going to say, he didn't have Jesse with him in a camper
I
somewhere.
literally just rewatched El Camino last night.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
We rewatched Breaking Bad a while back. That's fucking amazing. Probably one of my favorite shows ever.
I'll agree. That's in my top, if not the
Fantastic.
best show I've ever watched.
It's so good.
I haven't rewatched
and
it yet, but I'm ready
good
to.
too.
Yeah,
it ended good.
Exactly. Which that never happens.
And
We
you've
were
seen El
watching
Camino, right?
No, I
Ozark.
haven't.
Oh my God.
We were watching this last season of Ozark, and
Yeah.
I was just like, no, I don't know if anybody's watched it or you follow that show, but didn't like the way it ended at all.
Yeah,
Right.
dude, you need to come over and watch fucking El Camino. Dude.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
never
El
seen
Camino's
it.
really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
That's how I felt off on a little tangent, but Tales from the Crypt, that's one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And they had 7 seasons. If you watch fucking 1 through 6, they're amazing. And then the last one they did oversee, or there was something different with it, and it just sucked.
I hate
and
that.
it was couldn't you have just
Ended
not
it.
did that
Yeah.
fucking season?
Exactly.
And it would have been perfect.
It would have been, yes. That's a good point. So this is Meth City over here with these two. He winds up getting 9 years for having the meth chemicals and stuff. It's amazing the police didn't find the bodies when they searched
That is
the
kind of
home
fucked up, dude.
for the drugs. So you wonder what kind of search were they doing
Right.
to not find like dead infants in the garage?
That smelled like chemicals.
Didn't they find their chemicals in the vehicle he was driving, though? So
I'm not sure.
I might be wrong.
He might have the
not sure.
mobile meth lab going.
Fuck yeah.
He's like, I ain't keeping it around my kids. Fuck you. I'm a good dad.
I'm a good
I'm good. In 2011, while he's in prison, Megan begins to cheat on him since she was living in the house that his parents owned. So that's a
was
little
his parents,
fucked up.
yeah.
She's in the house that his parents own. He's in prison. She's cheating on him. And so they find out about this. They throw her the fuck
the
out.
parents, his parents are like, no, fuck that.
And they move some family or somebody in the family came to stay
take
with
care
the
of the
kids to
kids.
take care of them.
Which inevitably, no matter how you looked at it,
Would
was
have been
probably a
the
better
grandparent.
situation.
Oh, yeah,
for
for
them
sure.
kids.
Yeah, exactly. At least they had a fighting chance then.
Which that's the thing is we're going to talk about is none of the kids have really anything bad
No,
to say about
not
her
at all.
mother.
No, not at all.
It's fucking weird.
It is really weird.
She made sure they had meals, but she wouldn't eat.
Right. So the three kids remained in the house, raised by the relatives. Megan's moving around a lot, trying to get off meth, but then decides to start abusing alcohol instead, so adding to the fucking whole situation. Darren and Megan get divorced. He comes back to the house in April of 2014 to get some of his shit from the garage, and that's when they found the bodies of 6 infants wrapped in blankets, and then the 7th. He claims he had nothing to do with it, and later the police would wind up clearing him of the charges. But Joey, that's fucked up. I mean, this guy's just getting out of prison and comes home to that shit. I mean, he's probably worried he's going to get sent back. You know?
Oh God, yeah, fucking. That's why he right off the bat he called the authorities.
Yeah,
After
he did the
after
smart
he found
thing,
one,
man.
But-
and he called.
But you know, I don't know what your thought process is in that moment. Like you're like, oh fuck.
Right.
Well, you open the box and that's the last thing you expect to find. And then he's quick acting and he does call authorities and shit. But does it dawn on you right away or later on? Like, oh wait, is that my kid? Am I holding my
Right.
dead kid?
Right.
You know, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
at
we're going to
first,
talk about the
because he's been
DNA
gone
testing.
a while, so it's like, oh well, maybe you know she had it while he was in there and
Right.
obviously was fucking around.
Right.
But no, that was his.
So that must be where the 18 years comes from, Chris, because they were,
Yeah.
well, we'll get to that with the DNA.
And I think Megan Huntsman herself said, "I've hid this for 18 years." I think
Yeah.
that was a quote from her.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
But
sure.
because I think like the original stillborn, because since she did hide that too,
Right.
not like the other ones, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was all the way back to that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So, Steph, I can't figure out, why she would have left the bodies in there. I mean, didn't she think somebody was going to find them? I mean, she gets kicked out. I mean, I don't know. I would have done everything I could to get him the fuck out of there, but
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is she was probably not in her right mind, on and
Right.
off meth and
true.
drinking all the time. She
Constantly drinking, yeah.
Yeah, she probably
More than me.
forgot about it or thought she got away with it for 10 years.
Yeah.
So might as
Yeah.
well just leave.
Yeah.
Drink to forget about it.
Man,
That's
if,
just
if,
fucked
if
up.
I'm booted out of somewhere though, and that's my dark secret,
I'm
that's
taking
Air
that-
Force One. That's the first thing I'm taking.
100%.
And getting fucking out of that place.
Right.
Like, oh wait, I'm not going to be here anymore. Okay, well this
I
has
got to
gotta
do
go.
something with this
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
Like eat it, something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So while Darren is moving his stuff around the garage, he smells this box with strong chemicals coming from it, marked baby things, Megan.
That's the creepiest.
Yeah. He opens the box. He finds the corpse of an infant wrapped in a plastic bag, wrapped in a blanket. What the fuck? He calls Megan right away. She claims...
What the, dude, could you imagine? Like, what the fuck is this shit, dude?
Right? Yeah, imagine being a fly on the wall for that conversation.
God
She
damn.
claims it was their child that she had while he was in prison, and she claimed that the baby was stillborn, and she panicked and put it in the box in the garage.
Hey, man.
So, at least, seemingly just told them what happened. But Chris, that is just got to be the most bizarre fucking excuse or reason that you
No,
would
but
give.
dude, like, for real, like, This dude just got out of prison, and you find fucking a corpse of a baby in your house, and you instantly call 911. No, I didn't have shit to do with this. I ain't trying to go back to prison, dude.
Right.
Like, I am fucking doing what I got to do. So he did the fucking
Yeah, because he did the whole 9 years.
Himself.
He didn't get out early. He did the full 9 fucking years.
See, so that starts to make a little more sense to me now, thinking about it that way. It's like, so he did 9 years. The stillborn one was obviously right whenever he got locked up. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he got DNA linked to the rest of them. So if that's the case, they were all before that.
Before he went to prison,
So the 18
That's
years
why
definitely
there's
makes
that gap
sense,
in time of the 9 years.
Yeah, there was a
he
couple
gone.
before the stillborn one.
Yeah, so I mean, if she had been having kids with just random dudes she was banging and doing the same thing afterwards, you know, then you'd have a lot of different DNA matches.
Right.
But they
Yeah,
all
no,
go
that
back
wasn't
to
the
him.
case here.
Fucking crazy.
So, you know, the cops come out, they do an investigation. They also find a pair of bloody gloves in the garage with the 7 infant corpses, each in their own box, wrapped in blankets. The police go to the place where Megan was living with her new boyfriend, old Jimmy. Jimmy comes home to find the place crawling with fucking cops in this
He's like,
trailer.
You goddamn
They got
bitch.
my meth lab.
Right? There he's living in a mobile home with Jimmy. He's all fucking what the fuck. He's shocked, of course, just like everybody was, of what the fuck is going on.
And I know that the house that she owned with Darren was like a family home. Like, I get that. But, like, the picture, like, it was a nice place.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, she was.
Yeah, it was like suburbia.
She was living pretty good, fucking doped out and partying like
Exactly.
that. Killing babies and shit.
Exactly. Now, Steph, Megan's mom would say she often kept secrets, but man, this just goes so far beyond that.
Yeah. I don't understand this woman. I don't understand the thought process. I don't understand how, she has this nice home.
Right.
Her kids say she has dinner, she cleans the house, but yet she's on drugs and drunk all the time. Like, nothing makes sense.
It doesn't. That's true. I mean, it's amazing how many people she's able to fool.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think somebody with a hardcore meth addiction would be very obvious to their neighbors. That one woman was like, I had absolutely no idea. Lived right next door to her. She said, I used to cut her grass for her when she needed help. And like, I interacted with her and like, I had absolutely no idea. Never thought she was pregnant. Like, had just like completely flabbergasted.
Minus the infanticide, she was basically the most functioning addict of all time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, almost to the point where it's impressive.
Yeah.
I said almost, though. So Megan tells the cops the same thing she told Darren, that she panicked while the baby was stillborn and didn't know what to do. There's a King Diamond album with a stillborn baby, and this story makes me think of that. So you're talking about, Joey, just random shit that reminds you of stuff.
Yeah.
I think about this, and the Abigail album deals with a stillborn baby.
Well, it was funny because all I thought about while we were doing the, or whenever I was fucking getting ready for this episode, was like bumper music. The most perfect song of all time for this episode is
Butchered at
Devourment,
Birth.
fucking Baby Killer.
Oh, Baby
Like
Killer.
the heaviest song of all time. Yeah, Butchered at Birth. That's
Butchered
good
at
too.
Birth was one I almost put in here, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I really could. There was no room for it.
But that's all I thought the whole time. I'm like, Baby Killer, like Devourment's in my head. nonstop.
So, but we got more time for that, Joey. We got a whole month of these
No, for
fucked up
sure.
chicks. So,
Yeah.
we can keep doing that. So, you know, putting a baby in a box is just about the dumbest fucking reaction anybody could have had in this situation. I mean, really. I found out that since 2001, Utah has a safe haven law, like most states do, where mothers could leave their kids with the state, no questions asked. So I don't understand why, if you're going to carry them full term, why wouldn't you at least do that?
Right.
You know? But, you know, it's crazy. She could have just put them in with the trash even and not gotten caught, because who would have noticed that in a bag of garbage that's going out as little as they were? I mean, it's sad and it's fucked up to think of that, but I mean, she could have gotten rid of them.
Her murders were her trophies.
Right. And that's the thing, too, is you got to wonder, like, did she enjoy it?
Right.
That's the part about it. Like, well, I can't wait to pop this
Or
one
is
out
it
so I
like-
can kill the fuck out of it.
You know, am I keeping the corpses to keep them close with me?
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know.
for sure.
So
But
it's fucked up.
But she, I mean, the process she uses to do the killings is very fucking down pat.
Yes.
Like the way she tells it.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. Seems like
we're
the
gonna
tools
get
of the
into
trade.
it. It's so fucked up. It's such a fucked up story. It makes no sense, but if she was addicted to meth and abusing alcohol, like we've been saying,
I never punch my alcohol.
well, that's good. Don't abuse it. I guess she was just not in her right mind. I mean, that's obvious here.
Right.
She was 39 at the time the boxes were discovered, and the living kids were at that age time 13, 18, and 20.
Right.
So two of them were fucking adults.
Right.
So that's crazy. Now Megan is arrested and charged with 6 counts of first-degree murder and put in the Salt Lake County Jail. And I'm sure she was kept in isolation because holy shit, you want to talk about a target on your back in a fucking prison.
In a women's prison too. I mean,
Right.
a lot of them are fucking mothers or whatnot.
Right.
And so
yeah.
she would definitely be a target. And the reason she was charged with 6 counts of first degree murder because they didn't count the stillborn
Right.
as a first degree murder, but she did have other charges too, including I can't remember whatever of a corpse.
Yeah.
That shit. But
Right.
so she definitely got fucking in trouble for all 7, but yeah, 6 counts of fucking the murder.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Now, Chris, they found that 6 of the babies were killed by strangulation or suffocation.
Yeah.
5 girls, 2 boys. That's just fucked up, man.
Dude, no, the way she described how she did it, though, how she put her thumbs in their throat and think of a brand new born baby.
Yeah.
I don't even have big thumbs, but holy fuck, dude, pressing, and you just do it. How do you have that in your head?
Well, she said she would hold them for a minute.
And then just
and
dig
then
your thumbs.
suffocate them.
Yeah, she said
with their
none of them
thumbs.
lasted over 2.5 minutes or something.
Right.
That is
in the
just
world.
so-
or whatever.
Yeah, it's
Fucked
so
up.
fucking crazy.
So fucked up.
I just don't give a shit.
Right. And like we said, Steph, I mean, even the neighbors are shocked. The fact that she's had that many babies not even showing at all. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you would hide that.
Yeah, I think like if you were heavier, it'd be easier to hide a pregnancy. But she was really thin, but she, like we said, was on drugs and using alcohol, and that does stunt the growth of a
That's a good point.
of a fetus or a baby or whatever. So
True.
they might not have been normal size like a healthy pregnant woman.
That's true.
So it might have
That's
been
true.
easier to hide.
That's
the
a
fact
really
she was
good
pregnant.
point. I mean, I didn't think about that.
And they
Because I don't have a uterus, like you correctly pointed out. Okay.
and she had said, or they had said that the 2 oldest of her kids, 20 and 18 at this time, they were born under pretty regular fucking situation, but the last one she had already been into doing the meth and everything else. So
Right.
it was born with that in its system or
wow.
whatnot. So anything before or after that, obviously, maybe she was just trying to. I don't know. It's weird why she didn't kill the one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there were some before that, obviously, and then of course after.
Right.
But somehow she lived.
Yeah. Very
I don't know,
weird.
strange
Like
story.
what would go through your mind to
Yeah.
pick
Like, did that
this
baby
one
just
and not that one kind of
did
thing?
it look at you just right in the eye? Like, oh, I
Right.
can't do it.
Right.
Yeah, there's something weird about
Did you
that.
fucking flip a coin?
Right.
You know, I don't fucking know.
Well, that one came out, and I could tell that she was an alien, so I had to keep her for the species to populate.
So the police did DNA on the babies, and as we said, they were all 7 Darren. So that's nuts. He said he had no idea she was pregnant. Now that's fucked up that her own husband
Right.
that sleeps with her would not know that she was pregnant. I could see neighbors, you could wear baggy clothes. You could,
Right.
when you're really showing, you would kind of lay low because they said she was kind of quiet and didn't really
Quiet,
mingle
yeah.
much. So that could be hidden, but your own husband, I mean, that's fucked up. Unless he's fucking full of shit, we don't know.
I mean,
she would tell police that, she did it because she wanted to spare them the lives that they would have with her.
Right.
But again, I mean, she could have given them up,
Yeah.
That's also part of why I don't really think that he really knew much about it, because she accepted all responsibility in those ways.
Right.
Where especially
True.
like she had been kicked out of the house and everything else, she could have fucking been spiteful.
I mean, like, no, he knew all about
be
it.
like,
but
oh, this motherfucker helped me. He fucking told me
Right.
how to consider anything.
Right.
But she was always just like, no, like talked about it like it was her and the baby together at all times. And weird.
Yeah, that is really weird, man.
Plus, I mean, he fucking opened that first box and he was fucking completely surprised, It's not like he was like, oh, yeah, I know what's in this. We better fucking stash this somewhere.
Right. So she also said that she was only focused on getting her next fix. So she knew that she was just not a capable mother. There was no record of her ever going to a doctor or anything like that while she was pregnant, which is fucked up. So she was really good at
How do you
hiding
think they
it.
did it back in the day, bro? They just did it.
True. I mean, those are things that are obviously good to do with modern medicine the way it is. But if a woman doesn't have any problems in a pregnancy, I mean, in theory, doesn't really need them until time is there,
Right.
And in her case, she didn't even need them then. She did the whole DIY in it like a motherfucker. Now, Joey, it's fucked up to think that she had the 3. One of them was 18, one, I think I said 20. The other, 13. And I'm wondering how the kids, especially the older ones, didn't know that their own mother was pregnant. I mean,
from a personality standpoint, maybe they couldn't tell that there was any difference with how she was acting like that as far as like pregnancy would cause a woman to be, because she was already fucked up on all the drugs and everything else.
Right.
From a visual standpoint, I mean, there's certain people that when they get pregnant, they hardly show at all. Maybe she's one of those people.
Yeah.
Plus, like Stephanie was saying, if you're fucked up through all this time anyway, the chances that you've got a fucking smaller fetus or something is also there.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. If you're a fucking dopehead, you're not eating right.
No, you're
so
not
the
eating
kid's
right at
not
all.
eating a lot
Right.
either,
Yeah, like Stephanie said, it's not gonna. The kid's
Yeah,
not
way
gonna grow the way
underweight,
it's supposed to and shit.
crazy.
Yeah. And Chris, I mean, the fact that the neighbors that knew her for many years had no idea, that's even, more unbelievable. I mean, between the neighbors, her husband, and her kids, I mean,
I don't pay attention to my neighbors, so
yeah.
I really don't. So I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Except for the one
interesting.
across the street who's a fucking asshole. Fuck you, dude.
Now, Steph, the fact she was able to hide her meth addiction, that's another one that would be tough to hide. I mean, pregnancy, okay, but to be a meth addict like she was and have nobody claim, at least, that they had any idea.
Yeah, this whole thing is a mystery to me. Like, it doesn't add up. How can you hide, highs of meth, lows of alcohol? You know what I mean? Your pregnancy, hide all this stuff. And all I think about is like, have you guys ever been around like a true alcoholic? Like, they're so lethargic.
No.
They can't.
Fuck you, dude.
Ones that do not go to work and all they do is drink. There's. I just can't wrap my head around this because they're so lethargic. They can't do anything. They can't
That's true.
speak. They just sit there and pass out, and
Right.
so I just don't understand any of this.
Yeah, it's so like both ends of the spectrum. It just doesn't make any sense. For one of the births, she was upstairs in the bathroom having the baby and strangling it before coming back downstairs to cook supper for the family. That's fucked up.
That's your brain is just somewhere,
Right.
and I don't know where.
Cubing, maybe like BTK.
Right, yeah.
She was held on a $6 million bail. No shit. Prosecutors were not able to give her the death penalty due to the fact of the laws at the time. Even though she murdered the children, she would not be able to get the death penalty, which to me is kind of fucked up. Megan would tell the police that she would hold them for a minute or two, like I mentioned, using the thumbs. She pleads guilty in 2015, basically sentenced to a life in prison, although the way the time was, it was like some of the sentence were running concurrently.
Right, but
so
she's
in
still
essence,
not getting out until like first time for parole.
Yeah,
Right.
the judge is like, 3 of these are running consecutive.
Yeah, he
Right.
totally said that.
Yeah.
You see that in the courtroom video.
You're like, you're not getting out of this too scot-free.
Right.
Like,
He rigged it up to where
Yeah.
there was no way she was getting out. As you said, Chris, she is eligible for parole in 2064.
That's a
where she'll
while
be
away, dude.
89 years old. So
God damn.
probably not going to leave the prison. In her statement to
That
the
would
court,
make me 85.
and let me just fucking go back to what Pete just said a second ago, but this is crazy. At that time, to kill a child was not considered capital punishment.
Right. How fucked up is that?
This is
It
not
is
that
fucked
long
up.
ago.
right.
And now it is because they adopted the law. But how the fuck was that not a capital
In
punishment?
Mormon country,
Especially,
I
I
mean,
know.
that is very strange.
No, it shit blew my mind when I heard that.
I
was
know. I was like, seriously?
like, is this the Dark Ages?
Right. In her statement to the court, she blamed her actions on drugs, alcohol, and depression. So, no
Of course.
shit. A lot of people battle drugs, alcohol, and depression and do not kill 7 of their infants. So,
Right.
what the
Yeah,
fuck
if you
ever.
got a problem like me, call help.
Joey, it's amazing. As you mentioned, though, the kids, the living children, made very favorable statements supporting her, man.
Yeah, they didn't support what she did.
No, of
Like
course not.
they
As a
they didn't
person.
condone that, but they said as far as they knew, like she may have had her substance problems, like they knew a little bit about that, but besides that, like as far as being a mother and being nurturing and doing what she was supposed to do as a mother, she did it all.
With those 3 kids,
Yeah,
which is
and
weird.
they had no fucking complaints or regrets with their
Yeah.
time with their mother. Like they didn't come out of it all fucking fucked up or whatever. But
Right.
like I said, man, if I was that youngest kid though, I'd be like, how did I make it
How
out?
close did I fucking
Yeah.
come to dying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the ex-husband, I mean,
Oh,
wow,
God.
what a crazy
Yeah.
one
And
to
what
fucking,
are his thoughts though? Like, I got 3 kids. I could have had fucking 10.
Yeah.
right?
And you, we've had other fucking
Save
stories.
me money.
Yeah. Maybe not babies or whatnot, but we've had like whenever we did, I can't remember his name, the fucking Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
And they had the mother in the fucking freezer.
Yeah.
remember?
Right.
And
Had them kids so
You got them
fucking-
stories where you're living with a fucking corpse in the place, and you know, like these people afterwards, they're like, "Holy fuck, we were living with 7 fucking corpses in
And
the
they had
garage
no
the whole
idea.
time."
That's
like
fucked
that's
up.
fucking creepy as
It
shit.
is. That's fucked up, man. Very, very fucked up. So it's a very sad story. It just goes to show that when people get hooked on stuff like meth, it turns their lives upside fucking down. Unbelievable.
Don't
It's
do meth.
Horrible. What
If you
she
name
did.
yourself after creepy insects, arachnids, huntsmans, that's what you get. Stop being fucking weird and creepy.
So the fact that she just couldn't give the kids away, or fucking tied a knot in it, fucking
Give 'em away
birth
now.
control, something
Give
for
away,
God's
give
sake.
away, give away.
So
now.
you got to wonder if she did get off on having them, killing them, and then keeping the bodies to have them close. Kind of strange, creepy, weird shit
Speaking
like
of
that.
getting off on it, I heard she used to take the dead infant after it died, put it back in her, and masturbate herself.
Probably.
I
Use
didn't
the
hear that, but that would be fucked
Use the
up.
placenta for lubrication.
That would have been very metal, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, anything to add to this one, guys? I mean, I know we're joking around. This is this is so awful, but
Yeah.
but you
not
know
really.
that's murder metal mayhem. I mean, we do it this way, and it's if that's not your thing, then you probably haven't gotten this far in the podcast. You know?
For sure.
But we did have somebody, guys, not that long ago, said we were a bunch of misogynist fucking pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Said we were all ugly and we hadn't seen a woman or whatever, and that was whatever the comment was. And now that person is a 666 Club member. So how about
yeah.
that?
That's
You
so
know,
weird.
Totally won that person over. So that's awesome. All right. Anything to add though, guys?
Yeah,
Anything?
no, I'm fucking cool with this.
Cool. I did my research. I mentioned a couple of decent documentaries, but nothing like, that 50-minute, real good, thorough, deep dive on it at all. There were some good articles, though. Always Murderpedia. I love that website. I tried to get a hold of the guy that puts it or person that puts that together. There's no contact info on that. I'm like, I wanted to reach out and just say, hey, I mentioned you guys a lot. Maybe you could return the favor, and I can't seem to figure out how to get a hold of somebody. I also read an article in the New York Times that was a really good summary of the events after the bodies were discovered, and it was a news story for a while. There is stuff out there, but just not a lot. But if you want to learn a little bit, Google or YouTube that shit, and you'll find it. Next week, guys, we're going to ratchet it up just a little bit more. Going to the UK for a gem of a fucking girl, Chris. Like that one you want to bring home to mom.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Old Joanne Dennehy with her fucking
not fucking
Rambo-ass
Brian
fucking
Dennehy.
knife. Brian Dennehy. Not Tommy Boy's dad. Not Tommy Boy's dad. The psycho bitch, Joanne Dennehy from the UK, stabbed 3 men to death with a fucking Rambo knife. Like brutal, up close and personal. And then 2 more on the street, just random pull off.
Because why not?
Walking his dog, fucking stabbing this dude. Both guys were walking dogs, and then one of them, she took the dog.
Dude, that knife is brutal.
And yeah, it is brutal. So Joanne Dennehy's going to be a good one. We got a great fake commercial for it. We just got.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that a little later. But so we are going to keep the intensity going. And guys, we're ending it up at the end of the month with our buddy Tex for the last woman of the month. So that'll be good. So very good. Joey, any page a days for us?
I do. And, Page a Day also fucking, a couple weeks ago brought up Joanne Dennehy. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
A little fucking prequel. But yeah, I got a little Page a Day. So here we go. Fucking, this first one, I wasn't going to read this one at first, but I figured now I'm going to because it is kind of cool. It's about the term point blank range, right? You hear that all the time. Like, this motherfucker got killed point blank range.
Yeah.
Right.
So, how close is that exactly? The term point blank range. It's any distance in which a firearm can hit a target without accounting for a bullet drop or any other external physical forces.
Just go straight up.
So a straight fucking line is that could be fucking pretty far for some.
Depending on some weapons, yeah.
So it originated from the French term point blanc, which refers to the white point at the center of a bullseye. So they're fucking, comes from that.
Interesting.
The original term was used to describe how far a bullet can travel in an open space while staying level.
Right. Point
blank range varies according to the type of weapon being fired, like Chris was saying. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool because it is a term you hear all the time. Right. It's like, wait, what the fuck is that?
I love stuff like that because, you think, like, where did that come from?
Right.
Sometimes it kind of makes sense, and sometimes it's, like, totally out there.
Hell yeah. So I got 2 more from Page a Day. One of them is really long, or pretty long, though, but the first one is the shorter. And this is about, this is a good one. This is the murder of Susan Mayhew. So this is May of 1748. So this is a long-ass time ago. 10-year-old William Hale was jailed for the murder of 5-year-old Susan Mayhew, his bedmate at a workhouse for orphans in Ikey, England. In 1825 collection of crime memoirs, it contains William's extremely graphic confession, and the boy explains how he killed Susan with a hook and buried her in a dunghill after she soiled the bed that they shared at the orphanage. According to the account, William then cheerfully went for his breakfast, saying he wasn't sure where Susan was off to and that she was sulky and didn't like him anyway. So for his crime, William was sentenced to death. Judges were concerned that leniency would encourage other children to kill if they didn't fucking sentence him to death. So they didn't want a bunch of kids running around killing people.
Wow.
Back then, it wasn't unheard of for teens to hang for their crimes at this time. But likely due to William's particularly tender age, his execution was delayed several times until 1757. At that point, he was conscripted into the Royal Navy. So he never ended up dying. But
Wow.
yeah, 10-year-old William Hale killing fucking Susan Mayhew because she shit the bed.
That's fucked
Amber
up.
Heard.
Amber Heard did that shit. That's the OG. The OG turd.
So this is the last one that I got from fucking Page Today. This one's a little longer, but this is a good one. This is about a famous guy.
Okay.
This is about Marvin Gaye. So Marvin Gaye, he's known for a successful music career, of course. It spanned decades, and he jumped into a lot of genres, fucking Motown, 70s protest music, R&B. He fucking earned nicknames like the fucking Prince of Motown and the Prince of Soul. I mean,
Right.
That's fucking huge shit.
Oh, Marvin Gaye fucking... That's that fucking sex fucking music, bro.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But his life was also, marred by abuse and tragedy and culminated with his murder. So his singing success started early, like at age 11, and he was encouraged by his mother and others to pursue singing as a career. But despite his mother's love and support, Gaye's home life was a scene of immense suffering. He and his 3 siblings were subjected to the violent whims of their volatile alcoholic father. His family recognized that Marvin Gaye, he bore the brunt of their father's abuse, explaining that Gaye was the subject to brutal whippings and psychological terror from the age of 7 well into his teens.
Wow.
At 17, Marvin Gaye dropped out of school, and to escape his father's abuse, he enlisted in the United States Air Force. So he was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. And he joined the Air Force. The Air Force was not Gaye's ticket out, but he was not suited to taking orders much. He wasn't very good in the Air Force, unfortunately, and performing menial tasks. So he was given a general discharge soon after joining. In 1957, he began to climb the ranks in the music industry, though, and he achieved success through the 60s. In early 1967, Gaye was paired with Tammy Terrell to record a series of duets, and they excelled in that. Terrell's vivacious stage presence inspired Gaye, who at that time, he was shy and he didn't like performing live. So this was kind of the thing that broke him out of that shell.
Oh, okay.
In October 1967, Terrell collapsed on stage into Gaye's arms. She was diagnosed with a brain tumor and died on March 16th, 1970.
Oh, wow.
So that's fucking crazy. 24 years old.
Jesus.
So he delivered her eulogy while the hit song "You're All I Need to Get By" played. Compounded with the trauma that Gaye experienced as a child, along with Terrell's death, that was a turning point in his life. And all of a sudden, he sank into a deep depression. He began self-medicating with drugs, particularly cocaine and PCP. That's what he liked the most.
God damn, dude. Hell yeah.
Though he continued to release critical and commercial hits through the 70s and into the 80s, by 1983, he had reached a low point in his struggle with depression and drug abuse and debt, and he had to move back into his parents' house. So this is like one of the biggest guys.
Yeah, Marvin Gaye.
Had
Yeah.
to move back
That's
into his parents'
unbelievable.
house. Within a year of him moving back into his house, he'd be dead, though. On April 1st, 1984, there was an argument with his father and with Marvin, and it became physical, with Marvin kicking and punching his father. Gaye's mother, Alberta, she diffused the fight, but she went into to Marvin's room and tried to calm him down. And while she was in there doing that, Gaye's father charged in and shot Gaye once, fatally puncturing his heart, lung, and liver. He then shot Gaye again at point blank range, as we were just talking about. Fearing for her own life, his mother, Alberta, she fled the house, ran to the next door, which was actually Gaye's brother, Frankie. Frankie rushed over to Gaye's side and held him until the police arrived. He was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead on arrival. It was the day before his 45th birthday.
Wow.
So Gaye's father, Marvin Gaye Sr., he was sitting calmly on the porch when the police showed up. And during his initial interview, when Marvin Sr. was asked if he loved his son, he replied, "I didn't dislike him." He was charged with first-degree murder.
Damn.
God damn, dude.
So
That's brutal.
Alberta, she filed for divorce from Marvin Sr.,
I did not know this
but
history.
she did post his
Yeah,
$30,000 reduced bail. And because of traces of PCP and cocaine in Gay's system and pictures of Marvin Sr.'s injuries following the fight he had with his son, the judge allowed Marvin Sr. to take a plea bargain. Later on, and they disproved the PCP was Marvin Gaye's system, but the cocaine was still in there. I don't know how they do that. Like, it was in there. Whoa, wait.
No, it wasn't in there.
But anyway, so Marvin Sr., he ended up pleading no contest to voluntary manslaughter and received a 6-year suspended sentence and 5 years of probation. Now, Marvin Gaye's siblings, they kind of think that his actions were a little more calculated than it's led on, because they all knew that if any of them ever attacked Marvin Sr., that he would kill them. They all had that fucking belief in their
mentality,
system.
yeah.
So at the time of his death, Gay talked a little bit of suicide, but he had actually bought his father the Smith & Wesson 38 that he used in his murder. So he bought his own murder weapon. Gay's sister, Jeannie, she said that Gay had accomplished 3 things. He put himself out of misery, he brought relief to the mother by finally getting her husband out of her life, and he punished the father by making sure he would spend the rest of his life being miserable. And they said that Marvin Gaye knew exactly what he was doing when he did that.
Wow.
So this is the last thing I got to say. This is Marvin Gaye's last words as he was dying, as reported by his brother Frankie, who was there with him.
Right.
He said, I got what I wanted. I couldn't do it myself, so I had him do it. It's good. I ran my race. There's no more left in me. That was...
Damn.
I had no idea. That's crazy.
Damn.
So that was Page Day.
Wow,
Fuck
Page
yeah.
a Day. Good stuff, and definitely a sad story, man.
Yeah.
It's terrible to hear something like that.
No, I never knew all that shit. Like,
Hell
no.
talented guy to
Like,
have all that
dude.
happen to him. Well, I think we have done our fair share of murdering tonight, guys. Time to crank it up and listen to some fucking heavy metal. So, Steph, why don't you tell us what the fuck we need to do?
Let's get our metal on.
Just because CK has passed on, he's not done educating the masses. CK will forever be the great metal motherfucker. We're here to stomp poser ass and eradicate the planet of their kind. CK has passed the torch to us, and we will forge the fuck on. In CK's name, we will bestow metal knowledge upon all of you. Hell yeah, the great metal motherfucker.
Fuck yeah, dude.
CCK over there with the colander still next
Fuck
to
yeah.
him, Joey.
Yeah, he's going to represent that spaghetti monster
For a
Fucking
while,
for a while,
yeah.
dude.
I think
Yeah,
he
he
would have
needs to roll
loved
with
that
it.
shit.
Yeah,
I think he
yeah.
would have loved that shit. All right, well, Joey, it is your turn. Chris, did you pass Joey the horns?
No, I have not. Here you
We're
go.
doing this
Physically
one on
passed
video.
The goat horns.
So if you're watching this on video, you can see us
That's right.
for
Pass
real
the horns.
passing these horns.
That's right. And we are recording some video. We thought it would be cool to do the metal segment this time. So we got Joey's got his horns there. Real goat horns, too.
Fuck yeah.
So we like to physically pass the horns. And so when you have the horns, Joey, that means you get to pick the topic tonight. And so you have chosen.
See. Yeah. Fucking Lividity. Fucking check out the video. You can see me showing the shirt off.
Right.
Those of you listening, just listen. Fucking Lividity, though, man. I'm excited to do this one. I've had this one in the chamber for a while.
You
because
have, man.
I did the interview with fucking singer and guitarist fucking Vaughn Young of the band a while ago, but just with how everything worked out, it took a while to get back to my segment.
Right.
But anyway, so you guys are gonna get the fucking, you guys are gonna get the
lowdown.
1-2 punch from this.
Hell yeah.
You get the fucking the metal segment right now about Lividity, and then the day after the fucking interview with Vaughn goes live. So check that shit out.
Yeah.
That's 52 minutes too. So
Yeah, we got like 10 minutes for you tonight, though, a piece of it.
hell yeah. All right, so here we go, man. We're going to fucking get into this. So,
Hell yeah.
Lividity, they were formed in 1993 here in the cornfields of central Illinois. They're fucking... They're fucking just, as local as it gets for us.
Like, for real.
Even though they got big,
them,
that was a fucking local band. But Lividity was originally started as a one-man project by Dave Kibler. Dave is still the man behind Lividity, always will be. Fucking great
Crazy
dude.
Bastard.
Crazy motherfucker. So, in 1995, he released the demo Ritual of Mortal Impalement. And he also did a split in 1995 with Morgue Fetus, which he brought in a drummer, which is a friend of ours also, Tommy Davis.
Oh, yeah, dude. Tommy's a badass.
Yep. This was the first time that I actually heard Lividity was the split with Morgue Fetus, and that shit was huge to me. Morgue Fetus is a band out of Effingham. My buddy Sick Rick, who did Slough and all those bands, that was a project of his out of the extreme scene. So fucking Morgue Fetus, Lividity, that shit was fucking huge. From that point on, I mean, I was hooked on the band. In 1995, he pushed to make Lividity more of a full band. He added Aaron Heath on bass, and he added Matt Bishop on guitar. In 1996, they released the 4-song EP Rejoice in Morbidity.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And they solidified the name Lividity in the Midwest scene with that fucking demo.
Motherfucking demo, man. First time I ever heard that. All the fucking 7 fucking, not quotes, but fucking samples.
Yeah.
Dude, like, holy fuck, man.
Yep. No, that was a fucking huge demo. So, that was about the same time, Chris, that we saw them here in Bloomington at the Lafayette Ballroom, and they opened up for 6 Feet Under on the Haunted tour. It was like one
the
of
only
first
album
shows.
that matters by 6 Feet Under.
And fucking Deaden played that.
Yep.
Dude, that was such a fucking good show. But yeah, fucking Lividity, man. In 1997, they came out with another, they called it an EP. I mean, to me, it was a fucking album.
Full-ass album.
It was an EP, but Fetish for the Sick. This time they brought in Mike Smith on bass. They also did, in 1999, they came out with the album Show Us Your Tits, which that was a live album. I mean, that was fucking... I'm not a big live album fan, but that one was fucking huge and basically had all the songs that they had fucking been doing up to that point. This was released on United Guttural, which, of course, we talked about before. It was Rich from Flesh Grind, his label. And this was a show that they had done in, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Piqua, Ohio, Piqua. But they did that in Ohio, and it was actually mastered at Sine Wave Studios in Bloomington, which was a spot for a while here.
Yeah, it was. It was huge for metal back in the day.
Yep. Yeah. So 2000 comes along, and this is whenever their first official full length, like that's what it's called, and that was The Age of Clitoral Decay. This was fucking huge. That album was so sick. They had Nick Nolan as a drummer for that album, who unfortunately passed away that year. Yeah, he was in the
Piss Midgets, too.
Yeah, Piss Midgets, hell yeah. Yep. And he fucking
he died young.
Waco Jesus, too.
Right.
But yeah, he died the same year that Age of Clitoral Decay came out. In 2002, they came with their next full length, Till Only the Sick Remain. This is probably one of my personal favorite albums of Lividity's. Whenever we do the bumper music, the track that we use, TLC Tight Little Cunt, that's actually the intro track to that album.
Okay.
They still had Dave and Matt Bishop on the album, but this time they had James Whitehurst on drums and Aaron Harper on bass. So Lividity's been a little bit of a revolving door, but it's always been people that are fucking skilled at what they do and always bring a fucking great element to Lividity.
And huge in the scene anyway.
Yeah, and Lividity never fucking changes because Dave Kibler's behind it and fucking it's Lividity. So 2006 comes along. Lividity returns with a new full length and a new lineup. Used, Abused, and Left for Dead. The fucking album's amazing. The fucking artwork is fucking sick. This was originally released on Epitomite Records, which was owned by Vaughn Young, who was of Deaden, but at this time now he replaced Matt Bishop as the front man and the guitarist.
Right.
Or second guitarist. Chris Campbell was on bass for this, and they had Jordan Varela on drums for that album, which he was fucking the drummer for Lust of Decay, of course, as well as some other projects.
Wicked as fuck, man.
But that fucking lineup was awesome. The album was huge. 2007, they did a live video, which was released live in Germany, and that also had Illinois Grinders, Waco Jesus on it. So fucking, you can still get that fucking video. It's fucking badass as hell. In 2009, there was another full length, and this one was called To Desecrate and Defile. This was also put out on Epitomite, Vaughn's label. And now this changed up the fucking lineup to what it currently is now. And that is, of course, Dave Kibler on the guitars, Vaughn Young on the vocals and second guitars. And now they brought in Jake Laniers on bass, and he's been with them for a while, but he also did Human Artifacts and Abolishment of Flesh. That's who he's playing with now, and he just got done touring with them. They played Full Terror shit.
Yeah.
But they also fucking brought on Garrett Scanlon on drums. Garrett's a badass. He comes out of the Chicago scene, and he was in the band Corpse Vomit, and he was in a lot of bands
back in the day.
Yeah, Corpse Vomit was the fucking business, and that's where I think Lividity was like, yeah, that's what we need, that dude right there. But he was also in another band. I always like bringing it up. It was a lesser known project, but it was called Come Christ, and so I love that album. And then fucking one of my favorite songs is Jesus Sold Me a Bunk Eighth. And fucking
I remember that shit.
So there's most of the time when I see Lividity play, there's gonna be a time I'm gonna yell fucking Come Christ at Garrett. So it's always a fucking joke, you know. The last album that Lividity did was in 2018. They're currently working on a new one, but their last full length was called Perseverance. And man,
dude, when that
fucking
came out,
album. Yeah,
nasty.
when that came out, that was one of my top albums of 2018. I think like that and Flesh Order were like my favorites. But man, Lividity fucking came with it on that and made me so excited for what they're going to do, you know, coming up.
Yeah.
And that album still had Dave, Vaughn, Jake, and Garrett, which is still going to be the fucking the lineup for the new album too, and everything they're doing thus far. They got a fucking ton of fucking shows lined up. So if you want to see them live, check it out because they might be playing your country. So that's pretty much what I've got on Lividity. Like I said,
that's awesome, man.
They're a fucking great band to a lot of us here in the scene.
Yeah, we played a couple shows with them in Low 12. Really cool guys. You know, we weren't death metal, but they were really cool to us. Matt was always good to us. Vaughn, I mean, all of them. Dave. I tried to get Dave on the show in the early days, but Dave's like, I don't know how to use a fucking computer. He couldn't do it, so it's kind of funny. But
what's awesome about Kibler too, Kibler, like, he gets fucking amped up. He loves metal, like, it's in his fucking blood for sure. And he fucking gets so fucking excited when he's on stage and shit. And fucking, if you know Lividity, and especially if it's a local show or something like that, at the end of the last song, Dave is gonna fucking put himself out there to get crowd surfed because he loves that shit. So you gotta watch out because he might jump out and you might get kicked in the head with a sneaker or something because he's fucking coming.
He's coming out for you.
Dude, fucking Lividity. If you guys don't know about that band, go check them out. If you do know about them, I hope you enjoyed this fucking metal segment we did, and you gotta check out the fucking interview with Vaughn.
Yeah, so we got a little clip we're gonna play here now, just a short of 10 minutes, and give you guys a little tease on the interview Joey did with Vaughn Young.
That was the first concert I saw at like 14.
Yeah.
That was down in St. Louis. But I didn't really get to see. I saw King Horse after that, probably 6 months after that, at an all-ladies show at the Blind Pig down in Champaign. There really wasn't much. I think I saw Metallica finally after I graduated high school, like 17, 18. Me and my buddy Josh drove up to Chicago and saw him. So there wasn't really a whole lot of shows that I saw until I started playing them. Yeah. And then once I started playing them, it was like, okay, I'd go to more. And you know, you had Milwaukee Metal Fest. That was like the mecca, right? It was like I'd go to this record store called Periscope, and they would have these flyers from Milwaukee Metal Fest, and you're just like, holy shit! But there was no way until I moved out of my parents' house that I was going to go to those. Yeah. So that's just how it was. And once I was finally free, there was no stopping it.
Back at like $20 for a ticket to Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See bands like Cannibal Corpse and 11 Creation and shit.
Yep. Absolutely. The one thing, so I will say the one thing that really, I don't know that there was any specific thing that made me want to pick up a guitar or wanted to be in a band, but I had this Metallica poster, and it was I've never seen it really, but I got it at like Spencer's when I was probably 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And it was like this collage cut of like, there's a picture of James at the top, and there's a picture of Kirk, and a picture of Cliff, and a picture of Lars at the bottom, but in the background it's like this massive crowd. And as a kid, I would just sit and stare at it like, holy shit, you know, and it just kind of maybe kind of sparked an interest. But I never really had anything that specifically made me want to pick up a guitar, strangely enough. So me and a buddy ended up getting guitars around the same time, and I got like some cheap $50 Harmony shit.
Right.
You know, it was like your typical
first guitar.
We got it at a flea market.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, "Yeah, okay, good luck." So, and I took about maybe 4 months worth of lessons, and my grades were bad. So then they took it away, but they just kept it in the closet, so I'd go grab it when they weren't looking, and I'd work on stuff. So I'm pretty much self-taught for the most part. I just listen to back in those days. You listen to cassettes and you just play it back and rewind it and try to figure out.
Try to play what you're hearing.
That's all I did.
Yeah, I mean that's how I did it too, man.
Yep.
So I feel you. All right, man. So as we were saying, we're here in the Central Illinois scene. We're right here in Bloomington right now. There was an all-star list of bands, really, and talent here, like through the years, and you were a huge part of creating the foundation for bringing sick bands here. So tell me a little bit about that. Like, I know that you set up a couple of the first fests around here, and brought some of the first fucking like out of town bands.
I guess I didn't really, I don't really think about it like that, but I guess, you say it, I guess that's kind of true.
to me, that's what
I mean, I guess it makes sense because, so when I joined Deaden, before I was in Deaden, I was in a band with the drummer from Deaden called Carrion Fix. It was more of like it was like a thrash death kind of band.
Yeah.
Then I had Putrefaction, that was kind of grind, drum machine grind stuff.
With noise.
With Chris Noise.
Yeah.
And I actually was in Desecration with Ari and Bishop.
Okay.
Bishop took my spot, but Aaron Heath. It was me, Aaron Heath, and Ari. I drew the logo for that.
Switching spots.
Yeah, so it was always this constant like revolving door for a little while. There wasn't a whole lot of guys into that extreme stuff here until probably about 93, 94, 95. So once I joined Deaden, we'd been playing some shows. I'd been doing the Carrion Fix stuff, and Putrefaction was starting to do some things. So I really had this mindset of, if we're going to do this, we're not going to fuck around. It was this, I kind of came in and I was like, I'm going to join you guys and that's fine, but we're going to work our asses off.
Yeah.
We're not going to just play Champaign. We're not going to just play Bloomington. We're going to play other states.
Right.
And we're gonna swap shows with bands. Because at this point, I've been doing the underground mail stuff. So, I'm making these connections. And they're talking about, hey, if you bring us here, we'll bring you there.
Right.
And that's how it worked, man. I mean, we had the shows at the Channing Murray that were always, all ages. And some of the other guys started doing those first. But once I got involved, I started to book more shows, and because I had the connections of, like, we brought Reputilation out several times from New York. We would work with Internal Bleeding, and we'd swap shows. The Regurgitation guys. I mean, it was just always somebody that was looking to play Sodomized. I mean, we did trade shows with Sodomized. We did all kinds of stuff. And then you had Dave was doing Lividity, so he was doing it on his end too. So then we'd merge shows. It was always a Dead and Lividity show, and then like two other bands that we were bringing in. And then if he brought the bands in, and then Lividity would go out, and they would play New York or something. Right. And then that weekend that they were doing that, we were playing like Pennsylvania or something, because we're just constantly swapping. But it was always like this cool like rivalry. It's like, oh, those motherfuckers are going 800 miles away. Right. We're gonna go 850. Fuck it. So it was always like this. It's like, oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah. We're gonna push it a little bit farther. But then it got to a point to where I don't even really know how the early Central Illinois Metal Fest came about. We started doing these shows at the Knights of Columbus. Yeah. And they were just regular shows. Like, we brought like Deeds of Flesh and Dying Fetus, and I mean we brought Nile up once.
Which these are all huge bands now.
Yeah, now they are. Right. And I mean, let's be honest, Fetus and Deeds of Flesh, they were always kind of higher tier. Right. So Fetus was just always like, I mean, the first minute you heard Bathe in Intros, you're like, yeah, these motherfuckers are here. Right. So, but there was just something, like, I guess I just came up with this idea of, let's see if we can do a fest. And my whole goal was, let's keep it, 15, 16, 17 bands, but let's keep it as affordable as possible.
Right.
I think I charged like $9 or $10 to get
Yeah.
in. And it was an all ages thing because that was the key, because everybody was young back in those days.
Right, right.
So it was like, it didn't do any good for us to be like, oh, you got to be 21 to get in, because we'd have 50 fucking people.
Right.
But if I could get the 16, 17-year-olds in that were hungry for it, if they're hungry for anything to do, then it was, it was much more beneficial.
Right.
So yeah, we and just with those connections that we had in those days, it wasn't like now to where you could set up a show in 5 minutes because you're emailing people and your video whatever and people. It was, you got phone numbers and you got, you're trying to wait 2 weeks for a reply from somebody. Can you do this show, motherfucker?
Right.
Can you answer me? So it's like, it was all about just a necessity of, we wanted to play, we wanted to help our friends were going to help us in return. Like we would bring Niall up, Niall would bring us down to South Carolina, and so it was like just this shaking hand thing, and it was just like a helpful scene back in those days. Not that it's not now, but it was just different, and it was just a more honest, that if that doesn't sound cheesy or something.
Well, and it was all new to you guys, so fucking, you weren't like trying to compare it to how other people were doing it before you or anything like that. You guys were just doing it and learning as you went.
Right. And the only thing you had to compare it to was Milwaukee.
Right.
And Milwaukee was, that was leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
So, and I think we probably got, for those days at the Knights of Columbus, we were probably getting 400 or 500 people in there, which is pretty fucking great.
That's fucking good.
For a small town.
Yeah.
We were a small town. And on a Thursday, we had a club that we'd play called 6 Feet Under, typically on Thursdays, and we'd get 200, 300 people in there. So it was on a weekday. So, that's unheard of now. Or else you got like real touring bands coming in. Like it's just totally different. But the only reason that I stopped doing the fest was because after the second year, the Knights of Columbus sold.
Oh yeah.
So I lost my venue, and there was no other place that was willing to help me do it, and there was no other place that was big enough. So then a couple years later, I think it was 2002 when Matt started doing it, and I had kind of deadened, had kind of fallen off. We took our break. I was working on my career and stuff. So Bishop picked it up and he started doing it. I didn't even really know he was doing it. He never said anything. Next thing I was like, oh shit, Matt's picking up the torch.
Yeah.
Fucking run with it.
Yeah, so Matt was doing that, and then like fucking, Shane from Waco was doing shows out here at Lafayette and shit. So, yeah, super cool, man. All right, so you got to tour some amazing places with Lividity.
Hell yeah, man. Good job, Joey.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Vaughn's a cool guy, and
you
guys had a lot of good topics you were talking about, so that just gives the listeners a little piece of that.
High school, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome, man. All right, well, the full interview will be available the day after this episode comes out, so make sure you check it out. And Chris, you got a Lost Classic for us.
I do.
For a week, you've had this.
Yes. When we left the podcast last week, we're cruising and Joey put one of his mix CDs in, has different things on it. And this song's playing, like, I can't remember the band you said.
No, that's what's fucked up about it.
The name on the CD.
the burnt CD I had written, it was Ghoul, We Came from the Dead, which is what I was listening to last week. But also it was supposed to be Blood Freak, Sleaze Merchants after that. But apparently when I made the CD, I fucking burnt one song from Blood Freak.
And then after that was motherfucking Deicide's fucking In Torment in Hell.
Yeah.
It's like, he's like, who's covering this song? I'm like, this is Deicide, dude. Like, this is, and then the whole album played.
Yep.
And like me and Joe were talking about, like, this is one of those albums from Deicide that just gets thrown off the map for whatever reason. And it's a badass album, dude. From 2001, Roadrunner Records. Fucking awesome album. But that's the Lost Classic. Deicide In Torment in Hell. Fucking
that fucking
amazing.
Album is so good.
Nice. Now, I'd like to talk about what we've all been listening to, and Joe, I'm going to save you for last since you're going to segue into your thing. So, Chris, what about you, man? What you been jamming here lately?
Extermination Dismemberment a lot, dude. Like, I have been jamming the shit out of them, dude. Like, I don't know. They just got real heavy.
Heavy slams.
Like, very heavy. I don't know. But today I was listening to Suicidal Tendencies.
Nice.
Because I love Suicidal.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Music. Megadeth. The fucking Rust in Peace, because that's always a go-to.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was. I've been still jamming that band from the UK I was talking about last week, Divine Chaos.
Hell
Those guys are amazing. Really, really good. I did reach out to see if they wanted to do an interview. They did say they would, but I haven't gotten any further. So hopefully I'll be doing a segment on them in the upcoming episodes because I really like those guys. I've also been listening to some Low 12 lately, and there's a reason for that. I'm going to talk about that in the Mayhem segment with a little writing update. So I'll explain that. But Joey, what about you, man?
What about you got a new CD too? You got a new package, some stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're going to talk about...
No, you
did.
You got a package in the mail.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, from Flayed Disciple.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's badass
yeah,
too.
those guys are going to be my next when I have the horns.
Yeah, so keep
that'll
Flayed
be next
Disciple in
week.
mind because Pete's going to fucking do that.
Yeah,
one
those
for us.
guys sent me an amazing care package of some really cool stuff, and I'll show that off next week when I do my segment.
Fuck yeah. So yeah, as for me, I've been listening to in the car right now. I had a Solister, which that's a band from up in DeKalb whenever I lived up there, and they're kind of more of a nu metal band. But the guitarist was in the band Fallen Hollow that I ended up in, where I met my buddy Texas Dave Sinworm. So 6 degrees separation, whatever. But that was the original guitarist band Solister, and the album's called Hot Coffee, Hot Beatings. And it's pretty good shit. I ain't pulled it out in a while. My girlfriend's really into nu metal, so I was like, okay, I'll fucking put this in. I was listening to that. I was listening to fucking Satyricon, Volcano.
Hell yeah, that shit was jamming.
I got fucking, I was listening to another album called Blister 666, Middle American Tragedy. And that's fucking from 2002, some straight up fucking newer shit, like Limp Bizkit style. But a little heavier. And then I've also been listening to Holocausto Cannibal, Carezza Farina, because me and Peter are doing these reviews, and that's the next one I'm going to do. And I love that band anyway. So
How is that out?
Oh, so fucking good. So keep an ear out. Like I'll be getting that one up here pretty soon. It's been busy, but Holocausto Cannibal. Now, the last thing I was listening to is, like I said, me and Pete do reviews.
Right.
So we got to hear something. Like, this is literally Stephanie and Chris have not heard this.
Oh, really?
No, not yet.
Oh, I thought
no, they literally.
Oh, God.
No, they're new to this.
Wow.
I kept it under wraps. I sent it to you.
Oh, my God.
So,
okay.
Let's let them
All
hear
right,
what we
let's
heard.
hear what you got, Joey. Hang on.
Sup, y'all? It's your boy, Punky Brooks, 419 ho in the motherfucking house. Now, y'all motherfuckers don't even know that I be an entrepreneur around here. I be dropping hot shit, I be picking it up, I be adding flavor, I do all that shit. Well, I started me a motherfucking record label, 419 Records. Bitch, you already know that's the name. You know how I'm coming out. Now, just so y'all know I ain't on no frontin' ass shit, I already got my hot ass first new artist ready to drop some shit. Y'all ready to hear this shit? Check out my man's Sick Ripper. I'm the man, I'm Sick Ripper. I'm living out my fantasies. I'm the man, Sick Ripper. Get inside my van, baby. East Coast beast between the sheets. Videotaped in my van. You can eat some Mickey D's after you eat my man meat, baby. Sick Ripper. Sick Ripper. Man, I done told y'all that was some fucking heat right there. That motherfucking shit right there. That shit's so motherfucking raw, you can't even fucking hang, dawg. Smoke a blunt, listen to that shit, you be in another motherfucking dimension. You don't believe me? Peep this other shit he done did. Blood, sex, and drugs, Sick Ripper. Everything I need, Sick Ripper. In my fucking fan all night, Sick Rippin'. Sick ripping some weed. As I murder these bitches. As I murder these bitches. Sick Ripper. Sick Ripper. Sick Ripper. Woohoo, I told you that motherfucker shit hot, dog. That motherfucker going ham on the mic. Yo, that Sick Ripper from the debut album called The Cosmic Winds of Heavy Metal Mountain. Yo, that shit coming out real soon, dog. Get ready. And you know what is dropping on, motherfucker. 419 Records. I told y'all that shit too sick. 419, Punky out, ho.
You fucking stop, dude. Oh my fucking God.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Holy shit,
Yeah, he
dude.
sent that shit to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, wow. Like, you are smoking some serious fucking dope to be
Get
fucking
high
coming
as
up with
fuck,
that.
dude.
Oh, my God, dude.
The
That's good
worst
stuff.
thing of that, like, I'm walking around, like, it got stuck in my head. I'm at work, sick, ripping everything I need. Like, I'm singing that shit.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh, wow. 419
Can
Records.
you email that to me?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Dude, I
God.
hope our fucking listeners dug that. I know
I hope
some of
you
y'all
guys
like the
liked
punky
that. That
shit,
was
but-
funny getting the real reactions
Yeah.
from Chris and Stephanie.
I'm fucking
sitting
dying,
here. Wow.
dude.
That's hilarious. All right, well, bands, if you are listening to this and you want to get on the Murder Metal
419
Mayhem
Records?
podcast, 419, contact us at pete@murdermetalmayhem.com. There's no guarantee we'll play it, but we'll check it out. And we might do a review of it if we like it, or might feature the band. We don't know. But send it in. And if you want to go old school and send it to Murder Metal Mayhem, P.O. Box 554, Hayworth, Illinois 61745. And always, you want to throw a sticker in there with it. We'll put it on the table if we dig it. Oh, or the door. That's right,
Yeah, we
because the
got the
table's
door.
getting pretty full. So I'm going to have the horns next week. As I mentioned, going to be doing the UK band Flayed Disciple.
Fuck
Those guys
yeah.
are so nasty. I did an interview with them, and I'll play some of that. And the entire interview, just like with we're doing this week, will be after the episode drops the following day. The bonus will, and the interview I did on YouTube with them, you'll be able to watch it if you'd like to do that. So get the 3-punch next week
Hell yeah.
with Flayed Disciples. So fucking brutal.
Oh, yeah.
And they specifically wanted the Dennehy episode. So we
Nice.
handpicked it for them since it's a UK case. We're going to be doing all UK metal next week. So that'll be fun. All right. So we're going to plug that 666 Club because
Fuck
that's
yeah.
a way
666, get it.
people can support what we're doing and become a Patreon supporter. And if you do that, you can get bonus content like that Manson family episode we did.
Fuck yeah.
We did, other bonuses that eventually became episodes, but months or even a year later.
Yeah.
So you get them right away. Full interviews that nobody has to wait for.
Got
You just
fucking
get it
band
instant.
They've already got the
interviews, you got
Vaughn
fucking
interview.
true
They've
crime
already
interviews.
got Flayed Disciple. They got all this stuff.
Hell
So that's the reason why you want to join. $3 a month. That's all it is. And link to that in the episode description so you can do that. All right. Well, we have done plenty of metal tonight. So, Joey, what the fuck do we got to do?
Let's get our mayhem on, Sick Ripper!
Hi, we're girls who love to laugh, come from cunts.
Hi, thanks for calling Joe Ball Anger Management. Mr. Benmore Anger Management. How can I help you?
Hey, Joe, it's Bill again. Think about beating my wife, but you know I love her. I want to do it. You know how much she fucking pisses me off, man.
We can bring that bitch down here to our office and back of the tavern. I got a special gator council session that I just might do the trick, son.
Oh, not that gators again. What the fuck is that, man? We done that.
Well, you gotta stand to believe it. You better bring that daggone bitch down here, but old Joe Boy will take care of her. We'll toss to the gators and no one will ever know. Like she never even happened, kid.
Like I said, we already done the gators, bro. What the fuck? Go away. Do something new.
Come on down for the Mother's Day special. For the whole month of May, you can get a gator council session for $69.95. I'll toss in a cheeseburger surprise for you to eat while your watch will get eaten up.
Oh, yeah.
That motherfucking laugh, dude.
Oh, wow. Your brother Michael there doing some Joe Ball anger
Oh, my
management.
God.
That was fun. And before that, a little Lividity, Joey.
With the song TLC, Tight Little Cunt.
Yeah, and that was a good segment, man. That was cool.
Yeah,
I think we did that justice.
Fuck yeah.
Talking about some Lividity. And like I said, doing the Midwest proud. Cool that they're from right here where we are, too. So that's awesome. All right, well, we are doing this commercial for next week. We've mentioned this. We had written a commercial for the Joanne Dennehy anger management, a division of Benoit anger management. And I thought it would be funny to have the speaker, the narrator of the commercial, be an English speaking or a English accented female. And so we reached out to our listeners. Hey, any females in the UK want to do this commercial for us? And I did have one step up to the plate, but then they read the script and they were like, fuck you guys, you're out of your minds. So I was like, damn, I really thought we were going to have to scrap it. And so we finally had this listener step up. Her name is Mel Brown. She gave us a great audio to use and paired it up with you,
great.
Chris.
Can't wait.
Screaming and carrying on.
A little bit of Joey in the back.
A little bit, yeah. So there's a good one next week. The funny commercial that we did, and thankfully had Mel Brown, our listener, from the UK, step up, and she took care of that. So that was awesome.
Y'all are gonna dig that shit.
Very cool. All right, killer cage match tonight, guys. That's when we take.
Before that.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk some mayhem in the form of a show that's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Because this weekend...
A lot of mayhem there. Man.
Yeah, for sure. Whenever this episode drops, depending on if you're a Patreon listener or not, because you can listen to it on Wednesday, but if not, you hear it Thursday. The Friday after the show drops, May 6th, at fucking Willis Steel in fucking Galesburg, Illinois. Fucking the second annual Cannibal Cookout Jamboree. Last year was fucking awesome. This year is going to be fucking even better. There's a fucking bunch of bands that's playing, but some of them that's playing Minimum Wage Assassins, Necro Cannibal Ass Grinder, fucking Disinter is one of the bigger ones that's playing.
Putrid Piles playing,
Animated Dead, Putrid Piles playing, Pit Lord, Sexual Atrocities, Disinter, Elbow Deep, Lividity, who just did the metal segment. They're fucking like basically the big headliner for that. I'm playing it. I mean, it's going to be fucking awesome. So if anyone's in the fucking area or you just want to get to a show and you can get to Central Illinois, Galesburg, May 6th, May 7th, Campbell Cookout, it's going to be sick.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I know you've seen a lot of posts about it.
Yeah, so. Last year fucking everybody was getting fucked up and shit and partying. It was a fucking good-ass time. And our buddy Derek he's out there getting fucked up. Yeah. He fucking runs over to Casey's, comes back 5 big-ass Casey's pizzas and just fucking drops.
Midwest grind show,
he's
man.
like, it ain't no real show without Casey's pizzas.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right, well, we got a good killer cage match tonight, guys. That's when we take a list of 75 killers, 75 objects, and we get our listeners to provide some random numbers so we know who's fighting and what they're fighting with. And Chris, who do we want to say thanks to?
Once again, we got Caden Stuthis, Rebecca Boomsock, and Ray Righteous Bullet. McFalls.
Hell yeah.
Thanks
Thank
again,
you
guys.
all.
Man, Righteous Mullah sounds like he wants to join Sick Ripper.
He does, yeah. We got one hell of a good matchup tonight in the cage. Joey, who do we have pairing up?
We got fucking H.H. Holmes from fucking Chicago, and he'll fucking torture you in his house of fucking scary shit. And then he's going to go up against fucking 3-tooth, glass-eye Henry Lee Lucas.
Fuck yeah, some strawberry milkshakes.
I mean, he
on.
might tell you the truth. He might not.
He might not. Yeah. Might smoke a couple Pall
He will.
Malls.
Oh, he's definitely doing that.
And Chris, they got a couple of good objects to fight with this time.
Yeah, they got a hacksaw
That
and
could
a
be
5-gallon bucket of glass shards. So
Ooh.
that's a pretty rough right there. You get a hold of that and just throw it.
Yeah. Not a whole lot you could do. And then, Joey, what about the variable or Stephanie?
Stephanie,
you got
what's
the
our
notes
variable
there?
tonight?
The variable is George Lopez tripping on acid he bought from Ricky Casso.
Oh, shit.
That's that good acid,
Yeah, the acid king.
That's that
Ricky
killer
Casso.
acid.
Hell yeah. So that's an interesting matchup. H.H. Holmes and Henry Lee Lucas fighting to death with a hacksaw and a 5-gallon bucket of glass shards, with George Lopez running around tripping on acid that he bought from Ricky Casso. All right. So, Chris, what the hell is going to happen here?
As far as both of them in a fight, H.H. Holmes against fucking Lucas, I'm going to give it to Holmes because I don't know. I'm like, dude, that's a rough one for him.
I know, because Holmes wasn't really a big dude, and he was, a doctor.
But I think if Lucas gets a hold of that fucking glass shards, he's just going to start throwing them things at that motherfucker. Fucking grab the hacksaw, look at Lopez. Lopez is tripping his balls off. So Lopez comes at him, gets a fucking hacksaw, and just starts grinding on fucking Lucas. And starts just chewing on the glass shards because he thinks it's fucking crystal meth. He's like, fuck it. He's just tripping so hard because that Ricky Casso acid sucks, dude. Got you fucked up. And he just goes, I'm giving it to Lopez tripping on the Casso acid.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Stephanie, did you want to weigh in at all in this fucking ridiculous fucking
No,
thing?
I'm no good at these.
You're
I
no
want to
good
hear
at
what
these?
Joey has to say.
Right.
Joey, what about you over there, man?
Well, I think, first off, fucking Henry Lee is going to fucking look at that gallon bucket of glass shards, and he loves some glass shards. Some
You know he
speed, like
does,
Chris
yeah.
was saying. He's like, fucking walk over to that bucket, starts trying to fucking put him in his fucking rose fucking pipe.
And his rose petal
trying to
pipe,
fucking
yeah.
smoke that shit, and they won't burn right, but he's fucking preoccupied. So fucking H.H. Holmes goes over and fucking gets that hacksaw, finds George Lopez. That dude's tripping so hard because Ricky Casso's fucking ass is no joke.
Right,
And fucking
exactly.
H.H. Holmes just fucking comes up and starts fucking hacking him up into pieces. Fucking starts taking pieces of fucking George Lopez and stringing them up around the cage, like his intestines, and he's going to put his fucking heart over here.
Like Hannibal Lecter
And he's
style.
going to create his little fucking house of horrors. So whenever fucking Henry Lee finally fucking realizes he's not getting high off this shit because it's actually glass shards
It's
and not
not really-
glass shards.
Right,
This
right.
motherfucker finally looks up. He's fucking in the middle of a fucking
Gore
torture
zone.
chamber in a cage. And H.H. Holmes is just hiding, fucking covered in gore, and fucking watches as Henry Lee tries to find his way out. He can't. He just attacks him with that hacksaw
Wow.
and fucking kills him.
Hell yeah.
H.H. Holmes is too crafty for fucking
Yeah.
For
for Henry
Lucas.
Lee.
And I
Yeah.
think, like you said, with Henry Lee getting a little preoccupied,
Oh yeah.
he might be able to be taken advantage of. And Holmes is a shifty bastard, that's for sure.
Yes.
All right, well, very good. I don't think George Lopez is going to be doing a whole bunch of anything with that Ricky Casso acid, that's
No.
for sure.
I guarantee he won't be funny.
Well, it might be funny watching him, but
Yeah.
not any kind of funny he wants to
Right.
be known for. All right, well, I showed you guys the proofs. The Deeper Than
yeah.
Dead books came in, and you guys got to check them out.
Oh, yeah, they look dope as fuck.
Thanks, man. I'm really excited about it. The 8.5 by 11, the Infernal Deluxe Edition.
Yep.
Started doing pre-orders today, and they're coming in. So thanks everybody that has. I'll link to it in the episode description. You can also go to deeperthandead.com. Right now, that'll take you to the Facebook page. But here in about 2 weeks, it'll take you to a page on the main writing website for the series. So either way, you can get where you need to go and order that because we're doing advanced orders. They get all kinds of perks. They get the audio book for free. They get the signed bookmark from both me and Brian, and they get the book as soon as they come out or get to me, which will be here in another week or two. So you get them early because the release is June 6th. So appreciate that. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, usually a couple of projects ahead when it comes to writing because there's so much that goes into this stuff. But I did have, I was listening to some Low 12, as I mentioned earlier, because I'm looking for some instrumental parts I can use on the Deeper Than Dead audiobook.
Fucking right.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been listening to some Low 12, and I got listening to the 6 album, which was the last one that we did. And I'm listening to that, and, you know, it just really bothered me only because I wrote the novel 6, never did anything with it. I edited it myself, but it didn't go through the usual editing process. It was kind of like my first novel back from having not written for a while.
All right.
But I always loved the idea of that story of the serial killer killing and the victims coming into his body as tattoos on his skin. So the more he kills, the more he's covered in these tattoos. It's pretty crazy. Anyway.
I mean, people with tattoos basically are scumbag killers.
I know, right? Every one of them, dude.
So originally I was going to be doing a different project, but the more I thought about it, I thought that I never really gave 6 his due. And so I've decided to rewrite the 6 story. I'm going to call it Etched in Flesh. And I'm going to write that as a novel, but I'm going to take the idea, expand upon it, and completely redo it. But I just didn't feel right with that idea that I really liked, just kind of sitting idle because I never did anything with it. Right. So
Hell yeah.
I'm going to go back to it, and I'm going to do that next. So that's my next project. I am writing a couple short stories to kind of palate
Didn't you
cleanse.
also say that you started the sequel?
I did the sequel to the 666 Express that we were all in. We had a lot of fun with that.
You don't think we'd come back from the dead? Fuck you.
Hey, they did it with Kenny.
You're right, exactly.
So all 4 of us got killed in the 666 Express. So we come back in Create the Chaos, which is the sequel where we take to the New York City subways in search of this mythic beast, this creature in the subways named Chaos. And what do you think happens when we get down in the subway? But some crazy ass shit. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited.
In the corner.
What's that?
I'll pissing in the corner.
All right. Deal. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm going to do that. That's what I'm working on right now. And then I got one more, and then I'm going to get to Etched in Flesh. So I just wanted to break that news. It's just something that I've been kind of excited about here lately. Just listening to some old Low 12 just made me want to get back to that story.
Did I tell you, Chris, you were talking about pissing in the car. I told you about we went to Walmart's like fucking 2 a.m. and Texas stays with me. This motherfucker's drunk. Like, I used to drink too, so I was probably drunker and shit too. We're at Walmart wasting. We used to walk around with a fucking pocket voice recorder in the pocket of our flannel, and you try to get samples from fucking people talking about fucked up shit, you know?
Right.
But anyway, so we're in there fucking doing that one night, and fucking I'm looking around like, where the fuck did Dave go? Fucking down the aisle with all the ramen noodles and shit. He's sitting there just pissing on the ramen noodles in the middle of Walmart. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, we got to get the fuck out of here now.
Oh my god!
Oh
dude.
man, pissing.
I could totally see
noodles.
Texas Dave doing that, dude.
So I guess that's some mayhem, you know, a little
definitely. And also met with web designer again. Jeremy's doing a great job.
It's coming soon.
It is the end of May. We're going to have a new Murder Metal Mayhem website, new writing website, a web store so you could buy the T-shirts and the activity books and all that stuff, so you'll be able to get it.
All Pete's books.
Yeah, you can get my books. You can sign up for the 666 Club through that.
Hook up fucking FTA records of that bitch.
I got a deal on the website that for $25 for the year, you get the 666 Club, so you save $11 a year doing it that way. So I thought that was cool.
And
So-
all this shit that we're talking about, the shirts, the books.
Right.
If you want that shit, message us. Hit us up because we can get you that now anyhow.
That's right.
You can
That's
do
right.
it that way and the website. So.
Exactly. All right. The YouTube channel.
Speaking of which, I'm going to say this on air so I don't forget. Don't let me forget. I need to get a 2X of one of our shirts for our buddy Wasted Jesus.
Oh,
the zombie shirt with the Jeff Gaither fucking art.
Okay.
I need to get him one because I need to bring it to him for the weekend. This week.
Okay, yeah. All right, the YouTube channel, we've been talking about that. You definitely want to subscribe to that. I linked to that in the episode description as well. We got new content up there quite a bit, the video interviews and the funny fake commercial outtakes, and this metal segment from tonight will be up there.
Yeah.
So definitely go on and check out our YouTube channel. All right, well, I think we have done plenty of mayhem tonight. I think it's about time to hit the outro. Fuck yeah, man. Some Votov.
Yeah.
Some sick death metal from Winnipeg, Manitoba, up there in Canada. The song Pacified
Canada.
and Enslaved. Yeah, love our Canadian listeners. Got a lot of them, so thank you. And yeah, Votov, killer shit. Big thanks to Stephanie, who's
Fuck yeah, thanks for coming
dealt
out,
with
Steph.
us for another night. She's over there still smiling, thankfully. But she brought us some cupcakes, so thank you, Stephanie. Always bring the food. And we appreciate that very much.
Of course.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and always fun to have guests coming in, and especially people returning and getting to check in. So that's awesome. Joey got some bumper music tonight, man. Some sickness.
Yeah, tonight we played fucking our sponsor Blasphemation, played Votov from fucking Canada, and then fucking our metal segment fucking band Lividity.
Hell yeah.
Midwest.
Definitely
represent.
brought it tonight. Metal segment intro music by who, Chris?
Chrysix. Fucking always
yeah.
fucking Chrysix. Hell yeah.
And Murder Metal Mayhem intro by Low fucking 12. And thank you to everybody out there listening. We keep seeing the numbers rolling in. We appreciate everyone that listens. Tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell whoever. Whatever you can do to spread the word, we appreciate that. And we appreciate, making these 4 years so much fun. We've had such a good time doing this. It's a lot of fun
dope.
every week to get together with you guys and
dope.
hang out and
Hell
do
yeah.
it. Chris, what about that first comment, man?
Peter Strickland says, I listen to you guys from Hamburg, Germany.
Oh, yeah.
Now for the last 2 months. This show rules. I'd love to hear more German metal. All right,
yeah.
we can find some German metal.
Wasn't Hamburg where old Fritz Honka was living at, I think?
Was
there?
it?
I wonder if Peter knows him.
Right.
Hopefully not. I mean, that would not be good. But I'm all about the Teutonic fucking German shit, man. Creator,
Fuck yeah.
Destruction, Sodom, fucking Accept. I love that fucking German shit, man. So yeah, I'm all about it. What about the next one, Joey?
David Hellrider 666 commented, "This podcast is the fucking best out there. I don't know how you aren't bigger than you are, but I love it. Want to say keep up the great work. Love the Lazier episode with Shane. I'm a Canadian listener in Toronto."
Hell yeah. Always good to hear comments on our guests that we have on. And yeah, we've had listeners say they dig when we have Shane on. So he did that funny Lazier commercial and the intro and stuff. That was really, really good. All right. What about the third one, Steph? You want to read that one?
Yeah. Angela Ramirez Cortez commented, my friend at work told me about you guys. I just moved to San Antonio from LA. This shit cracks me up. Those fake commercials are great, and the karaoke songs too.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Angela. That's awesome.
Commercials are fun to do.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun. Daria Smith 546 says that punky stuff is the bomb. Keep it up. So damn funny. I'm a listener in Miami. So very cool. Thank you, Daria.
Thanks, Florida.
I'll keep Punky up if you keep the Florida crazy shit happening.
That's right.
That's the
right.
deal.
The Florida crazy
There you go.
shit, yeah.
There you go. We should have Punky down in Florida.
Oh,
that
God.
would get kind of
That's
nuts.
too much.
Punky in Miami, dude.
Woo. The internet might blow up, man.
Hanging out with stitches and shit.
Big thanks again to the guys in Blasphemation from Tampa for sponsoring the show this month. They are sick, and they've got that upcoming full-length Phantasmagore Beyond Strange. Will be released with Soul Grinder Magazine and Nihilist Media. Digipack, only 100 copies of that, so you definitely want to get a hold of them, like Joey said. And we'll link to them in the episode description so you could do that. So always like to support the underground whenever we can. Check out murdermetalmayhem.com. Right now, that goes to our Buzzsprout page where you can listen to all the episodes. But here, when the website's done, that's going to take you to the main website, and from there, you'll be able to listen to all the episodes as well. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've been pushing the YouTube channel, but really, go check it out. A lot of good stuff on there.
We don't do shit on Twitter.
I don't either. I'm not really into Twitter.
I don't know what that is.
I don't even fuck with that shit. So,
yeah, I mean,
don't worry
I've
about
used
the Twitter.
it, but
we don't
it's
do
not
shit.
my thing at all. Check out our show pretty much on any platform that's out there, but leave comments, rate the show if you can, depending on what you're listening with. But we appreciate that very much. You could support the show by joining the 666 Club, patreon.com/murdermetalmayhem. $3 a month is all it is. And I mentioned the new book, Deeper Than Dead, is available, deeperthandead.com to get your copy. We got the two versions, the deluxe, Infernal Deluxe Edition, which is the big 8.5 by 11 full color, and then the standard paperback in black and white.
Oh, yeah.
So you can get either one. Got posters. Got the poster here in the frame, and really dig the way the posters turned out. They had to give me some new ones, though, because they fucking showed up all bent up. I'm like, what the fuck? Can't sell them like that. So also, I mentioned this last week. I told him I'd read it again. My son and his friend have started a podcast called the Pixelated Perspective Podcast, which is centered on gaming. So he's been doing some stuff with that. Actually sounds good. He's got himself a Yeti Nano, and he's doing the podcast and just trying to kind of feel it out. And he's actually coming over next weekend. We're going to work on some ideas for how he's going to write his notes every week and prepare for it. So he's really trying. So I think that's cool. But I got... he's got pixelatedperspective.com, so you can go to that and get right to their podcast. We can't let him go, though, without hearing a karaoke song. It's another blast from my past. Definitely fits the topic tonight. So crank it up, and until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
By all means, don't wrap your fist around your newborn child's throat.
Yeah, that wouldn't be nice.
Yeah, bad girls. Talking about the sad girls. Sad girls. Talking about bad girls, yeah. See them out on the street at night, picking up all kinds of strangers. If the price is right, you can score if your pocket's nice. But you want a good time. You ask yourself who the fuck they are. Like everybody else, they come from near and far. Bad girls, yeah. Bad girls. Talking about the sad girls. Sad girls. Talking about bad girls, yeah. Friday night and the strip is hot. Sun's gone down, they're about to trot. Spirits high and they look hot. I don't think so. You wanna get down? Now don't you ask yourself who the fuck they are? Like everybody else, they wanna be a star. Yeah, there comes. Bad girl, you sad girl, you're such a naughty bad girl. Beep, beep. Ha ha. Bad girl, you sad girl, you're such a naughty bad girl. Beep, beep. Ha ha. Now you and me, we're both the same. But you call yourself by different names. Now your mama won't like it when she finds out girl is out at night. Toot toot, ha, beep beep. 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 Hey mister, you got a fucking dime? Mister, do you want to spend some time with them? Oh yeah. They got what you want, you got what they need. They'll be your baby, this shit ain't free. Hey mister, you come to the Boudreaux Inn? Frankie must have sent you. Fuck yeah, you're gonna get some BD tonight, motherfucker. That's right.
Mother, man.